Burn live, burn live, burn live, burn live, burn live, burn live. It's going down, baby. Burning through ashes, trying to make comments. Burn live, burn live, burn live, yo. Where we burn through conversation, trying to ask y'all some common sense. I appreciate people coming through. Appreciate you stopping through. It's been another good one. I'm your host, Capiche. I know it's very cloudy up in here, but I do got some good people. I got Georgia in the building. I got Johnny after his heart. Appreciate y'all stopping through. How are y'all today?
Put them in the
Oh, Lord.
dishwasher.
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good.
Yeah, put them in the
I
dishwasher.
appreciate it. How you doing, Miss Georgetta? You on mute.
I said I'm fine, trying to stay warm.
Don't let me find out it's cold in Nevada.
It's cold.
Okay.
What part of the region are you from?
I'm from Cali.
Okay, it's cold there.
No, I'm in Las Vegas now. I live in Las Vegas, but I'm from Cali.
Okay. Hey, man. Hey, man. It do get cold at night, don't it? Yeah.
I appreciate you. Oh, I appreciate everybody stopping through, yo. I I I I want to start this off by saying I don't mean no harm. I don't mean to hurt nobody's feelings. This is not the purpose of this conversation. The purpose of this conversation is just to get to understand that we're all different. We're all individual. We all have our own personalities and stuff like that. But it, I seem to see a pattern that I noticed as an adult that we don't know the difference between winning and losing when it comes to certain categories. And I kind of want to break it down before I go deeper into it, but I just need an understanding. Like, do we need to define the difference between winning and losing? Is winning and losing important to learn, or is winning and losing even an idea thought in today's side? Do we even look at winners? Do we even look at losers? Does that matter? And I'm gonna go further when I get, you know what I'm saying, a little bit more answers from y'all and what y'all think about where I'm trying to go with this.
No, I get what you're saying. Like some people don't want their kids to know the difference between winning and losing. All they want them to experience is everyone's on the same level. They don't want
Like
their kids to know what it feels to lose. So they
like
feel like
yeah, you're right.
they may feel like they'll be the end of the world for them. They don't want them to be sad. But it's like you gonna why can't you teach them to be happy for other people?
You got a point.
You better get him. You
I
better get him.
I think it's the fact that and don't quote me on this. Don't quote me on this, but I do believe it's the point that you don't want to see your kids hurt, and parents of this day society remember more of the pain and the hurts than a good time. I always try to tell people that, you know what I'm saying, your memory goes in the factors of stuff that you remember the most. Things that you remember the most, things that affect you the most, that's why you remember them. You know what I'm saying? You have more good times. You went to Disney a lot. You went to Florida. You went to California a lot. You will remember those memories. Those memories will stick. Those for somebody who was always in trouble, always in juvenile, and only had a good couple of days. You're gonna remember the juvenileness lifestyle more. And I mean by that, and I say that for the simple fact of teaching the little ones about winning and losing. You know what I'm saying? Even outside of sports, because I think well, I ain't gonna say, yeah, Miss Georgetta.
We
Okay,
happy.
I thought you had something to say.
Uh-uh.
So what I'm trying to get at is I went on to the TikTok. Y'all know, people that don't know me, you can find me on TikTok, Mega XP, and I go on these political debate platforms, and the Democratic people be like, "Oh, y'all trash. You didn't vote it in your best interest." It's always a real heavy negative vibe. And I'll be like, wow, what's up with the negative vibe? And then I get to this one question. This is always my main question I ask people. You know what I'm saying? For the Democratic Party. Now I understand that y'all are not Democrats on here, but it's just a question that I still be having. If you don't, person like me, if I voted not in my best interest, because that's what y'all tell me. Yet again, what will it take? What would it do for y'all to convince a person like me to want to come back to the Democratic Party? What would it convince? Because think about this, and this is why I'm saying the winning and losing. The Democratic Party just lost an election. Okay, Joe Biden's not in office, Kamala Harris not in office, so you lost. Trump is in office. Yet again, how is that party over there going to persuade me as a person that just won to go vote for y'all in 2028 so y'all can become a winner? That's why I be asking about the winner and loser. Because the things that I hear, there's like no such thing as winning and losing. Like we forget that method. We forget that ideology.
Yeah, but how can you still be happy for somebody when you lose?
How can I
That's
be
a,
happy? Because you're still here. You're not gone. You're still a human being. You still your ideology doesn't get discredit just because I can argue that your idea doesn't line up with what society really need to do to move forward.
I asked you, how can you be happy for somebody else, not you? How can you be happy for someone else for winning? How can you
I think
share in that and that joy that they both have?
because yet again, you're gonna want that feeling. So it's something that you want to strive harder to feel the next time that election. Once you lose, it's not over. It's not the end. And I think that's a stamp that's put on in society that once you lose, it's over. Like there's
Mm.
not a tomorrow.
Yeah, but also we don't know how to be happy for other people that win. That's what I'm saying. Like, just because we lose and somebody else gets something, That doesn't mean that we should be mad at them. That doesn't mean we should
Yeah.
be envious. That doesn't mean that we should try to find or figure out a way to make ourselves happy. No, how can we be happy for them?
And sports, when your team loses, do you attack the team that wins?
No, but I do know some people that do.
Okay. So we don't attack the one that wins. But yet again, in politics, that rule doesn't apply.
Well, yeah, because then you got to look at. Um, yeah, I think that's the issue.
Your kids could come in the house and had a good day. Mommy, daddy, I just hit a home run in baseball. I just shot the winning shot in basketball. I just scored the winning goal in hockey. Tomorrow, they can come in. I lost. Where do we define the blessing in each one?
Well, we got to ask our kids. You know, we just ask them about the situation. What happened? You know, why did you lose? What could you learn from it? How can you improve?
So can y'all agree that in our society, our skin color automatically thinks that we have been losing for 400 years?
Say it again.
Can y'all agree in our society, meaning our skin color, you can agree that everybody said that we've been losing for 400 years? You may not agree with that, but that is something that is said a lot.
I don't know. Only been here for 45 years, so I don't know what happened the last couple of years before that.
I like that answer. I wish more people would think like that. Like, I can't say that. But would you want reparations from the government?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So therefore, if you want reparations from the government, that would almost say that you feel like black people have been losing 400 years.
I can't say that because I can't say that because there's so many successful black people out here. It's just I can't say they're losing when they're actually winning. Like I can't speak. I don't know.
Wanting reparations doesn't say we've been losing for 400 years.
What does it say?
It says, hey, our ancestors didn't get paid for when they came over here and built your country. Can we receive some money for that?
But they're
Their
not here.
descendants. Their descendants is here. Their bloodline is still here.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Amazing. I think it's more saying that, yeah, that you feel like you haven't been winning. And I played a video last time, a while back. Steven Crowder in a barbershop talking. I think that was with April. And more or less that episode, especially the first one. If I can just pull it up real quick, def is not. I can say define, but shows and tells the meaning of what I be trying to say. As far as if we think that we win and we think that we lost. We think that we lost for 400 years if you want to ask for reparations. Because that means that my ancestors didn't gain nothing in the past. In the same breath, like what Miss Georgetta said, in the same breath, there have been millions and millions of successful people here in America. So therefore, you can't necessarily say that. But ah, you can't say that, but yet again, you want to ask for something that 33% of your ancestors actually had a part of and legalized it themselves when it was able. Let's get off into a different subject, but yet again, the winning and losing part of life. Shall we teach our kids the winning and losing?
I believe we should, but as far as those reparations, we are owed that.
Who is we?
My fellow
Okay, sir. Do you understand?
black people.
Now listen to this number, and I love this statistics, and people are always like say that I'm wrong about this, but I was like, okay, I may be wrong, but if you punch in the numbers and really do the numbers, this is the reason why reparations should not be handed out in America. Okay. And then I'm gonna go back to my main topic. This is the real reason, right? Black people are only 13% of America, right? Okay. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes or no? Right. Okay. 33% of black people back in the slavery time actually owned slaves. Okay. Now, you might not believe that, but you can actually go look up that statistic. So, if you take 33% of 18%, that's over 50% of 13%. That's over half. Okay. So yet again, when you hand out reparations, less than 8% of people are going to get a check. We're talking, yeah, maybe 10% of people are going to get a reparations back due to the government. However much money you can figure out. Only like 10%. And do you know that 10% is going to go to war with the other 8%? Well, other 3%.
And why do you say that?
Because yet again, you may not admit, but people of our color don't like seeing other people have things. They don't. And once you see a group of people who you feel like don't deserve it or do deserve it, not specifically you, but I'm just talking about societies, a bunch of people that get something, and especially you feel like you should get it too. I'm black, I should get it. But yet again, my ancestors back in the day just so happened to own slaves, so they disqualify you. Once you find out that you have some type of ownership of slavery, that's going to disqualify you. And it's going to knock out a lot of people in the black culture. That's going to start a culture war.
I don't think so.
Why?
For one, I don't believe that we can go back and figure out what black people had slaves and which ones didn't.
It's
Two,
already documented.
I don't know where. I never heard about these documents, but let's say they're true. If they own slaves, then cool. They don't get part of the reparations. But the ones that do, they get what's owed to them.
Okay. And I had like yet again, There's nothing wrong with that, but you're knocking a lot of black people, and you're knocking people that navigated west instead of staying east. So like for instance, um, California is one of the only states that's truly asking for reparations technically right now as we speak. Actually got a bill at the governor's table, even though it hasn't been passed, but it's a bill right there for reparations. They is the first state to ever do that. Second state to ever do
Chicago,
that.
well, Chicago did it.
Chicago black ass mayor just rejected it twice in a row. Even Miss Lightfoot, when she was in office, denied it. I covered it exclusively and laughed at it with tears in my eyes on this channel.
Oh wow.
That's why I'm saying, like, y'all, we keep letting losers try to give us the biggest reward that's gonna cause the biggest conflict. But yet again, when they lose, they have no way of saying, like, how we gonna win? How can we talk to the people who we lost, and how can we bring them back? Because they believe that things that we see in everyday society, things that we see on the news, should be enough to persuade us back over. And then when they hear somebody like me say, no, that's not, I actually like what I see, I like what he's doing, understand, and I had to learn and understand that our ancestors back in 1979 on back to World War II did not have taxes come out of their paychecks. I want that life too. I would love to see extra $200 on my check that they keep taking off. Fuck, that sounds wonderful. That's a whole extra 2 bills I can pay for. And y'all can sit up here and say, yes. I know y'all can agree and look on y'all check and say, yes, that $200 that they take out of taxes. Hell, if we didn't have to pay federal or state taxes because our government found other means of making our country successful without us paying for it, y'all would want that money in y'all pockets. That's more vacation trips for your kids. Kids want them new J's, you can actually afford them because the money's right there.
So you
Right?
believe
Go ahead.
so you believe that we should accept instead of reparations get a tax deduction?
No, instead of getting reparation, we should black folks should automatically, the next 20 years, every black person should automatically get life insurance at birth. Once they born, the government should automatically hand them life insurance. And therefore we the people, us, don't have to pay for something that we had no business. Like Georgetta said, she don't know nothing that happened 400 years ago. What the fuck? Don't ask her about it. So therefore, she shouldn't have to pay on it. Because if we would have got reparations, even though me, you, and Georgetta would have got a check, so to say, guess who would have paid for it? We the people. So we would have been paying ourselves. That don't make no sense. So what makes sense is to give us life insurance, and you can pull from your life insurance anytime that you want to or need to for finances, for businesses, for life emergency. And yet again, and if you vest that life insurance correctly, which they a whole bunch of ads, then we can add long-term jeopardy. Life insurance is a beautiful thing. Yeah, I'm sorry I can't hear you, Johnny. So, Miss Georgetta,
Yeah.
would
Can you?
you? Yes. I don't know why I can't hear you. But if you can get extra $200 back on your income taxes, would you like to?
I mean, I would love to get an extra $200 on my income taxes, but yeah, and still, if you work too much, you're not gonna get it anyway. Because the more you work, the more they take. So it's just like I just roll with the flow at this point. Because you work more thinking you're going to get more, and when you actually work more, you get less. So it's like either way it goes, you asked out in either way. You work too much, you don't get stamps, you don't qualify for a lot of stuff. So, I don't know.
That kind of goes back to what I was talking to Johnny about the difference between program and then guidance counselor. I really don't think we need guidance, but no, I'm saying that backwards. I'm sorry. We don't need programs. We need guidance because a program is only there to go in like a systematic thing. It doesn't go nowhere. There's really no process. There's really no winners and losers in a program. You know what I'm saying? It's just brainwashing you to understand something to be like a robot. Where then a guidance counselor can guide your emotions, guide your capabilities, guide your skills in the right direction of going somewhere positive in a field that you need to look at. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that we overlook that somebody could explain to us. Like, for instance, I'm gonna take me for an instance. Um, y'all see how I am right now. I was not like this at 18. If I was like this at 18 and I had a good guidance counselor, I would have joined the service a long time ago. I'd have been in the service, I'd have been marching and all that good stuff. I would have. Because yet again, I guarantee I was patriotic back then. Just didn't I had the wrong people pointing me in a direction that I need not to go. And I do remember what they said. I'm not going to go deep off into that, but that's one of the reasons why I didn't join the service because I didn't have a good guidance. But yet again, I probably would have joined a program because that's what I did. I joined a program, got brainwashed that I'm not going to join nobody's war, not fight for my country, not fight for my freedom. And I say that to say this. $2028 is it's a ways away, right? It's a ways away. There are things coming up, global warming, women's rights still going on, illegal immigration, transgenders rights, and stuff like that. What else is kind of highly on the topic books of things that are being exposed? Fraud in the government, where government is government interest into stock market. That's a big thing that's on the ballot right now, and stuff like that. All this sports gambling, sports confusion, that's starting to be a hot topic now. I just watched a video earlier about F1 racing and then the scandals in that and the cheating in that. And I just got into F1 racing, y'all. I do like it. And cheating. That's a whole nother perspective too. I think we probably need to step into besides just winning and losing, because yet again, the cheating aspect of life is there. Everybody wants to find a way to get ahead. Now, we may call it cheating because yet again, we all want everybody to do it the right way, do it the fair way and stuff like that. But when you say an edge in life, or I had an advantage in life, or I did something like that, it's 9 times out of 10 because you found a shortcut, a loophole, or you, yes, indeed, cheated in a way that wasn't discovered to get ahead. And this video I'm going to play for us in a second really hit home of what I seen. And Johnny, just like you was up in there with today, we was on TikTok, you know what I'm saying, and you had questioning how you discovered what you discovered, and you discussed with that guy, you know what I'm saying, without him having proof of input, you know what I'm saying, you wouldn't get an understanding. Instead of just brushing you off and saying, hey, you're wrong, without an explanation, you know what I'm saying, you will never get an understanding. And winning and losing, when you lose, you have to figure out and find out why you lose. So next season, you can come back and try to win. That's why it's always a new season. But I'm going to play this about cheating.
Explains the history of cheating in Formula One. Check it out.
There were quite often things that happened in Formula One, sport that I follow the most closely probably, in the 90s and noughties, that looking back, you think there must have been a button that could make things happen, because it was so beyond a coincidence. And I never stopped to think of the implications of that thought. But if someone could do that in a sport, they can do it in the rest of your lives.
And they've always rigged sports. I mean, people have been rigging sports since the beginning of sports betting.
I think the greatest book that's not been written and never will be written is The Greatest Cheats in Motorsport. Some of the stories I've heard over the years are so good. Just because what they do is they reveal the competitive nature of human beings, but also ingenuity. You will see people at their most ingenious when they're cheating, not when they're abiding by the rules.
Right.
And Formula One is about the phrase that the great Mark Donoghue, one of your great drivers, Mark Donoghue was a Can-Am driver who did a bit of Formula One as well.
Just to add on, Mark Donoghue, who was nicknamed Captain Nice, was an American race car driver and engineer who excelled in Trans Am, Can-Am, and IndyCar, winning the 1972 Indianapolis 500. He actually died after a crash during practice for the Formula One Austrian Grand Prix. A suspected tire failure at high speed caused his Penske F1 car to hit a catch fence. Initially appearing unharmed, he suffered a fatal brain hemorrhage 2 days later. Just goes to show how dangerous this sport really is.
He coined the phrase the unfair advantage, which is a phrase I love because it just defines so many sports. Whether we like.
That's the word I was looking. I like that word, the unfair advantage. I'm gonna pause it right there. I'm gonna bring it back up, I promise. But I think we need to stop right there. The unfair advantage. Like I said, we always trying to look for the advantage in life, that the short. I said shortcut, but the unfair advantage, because yet again, everybody knows life is what? Unfair. I think everybody can agree upon that. Life is unfair. So to have the unfair advantage, to see the opportunity, to seize the opportunity, to go for something that you believe in, to see that this is what I'm trying to go for, the unfair advantage. Can anybody name a time, put it down in the description, panel YouTube, you can just name a time that you've seen an unfair advantage happen. There's never been a time that you see somebody took advantage of something that wasn't unfair. So yet again, by y'all not answering, I'm assuming that this is rare. So something like what this guy is describing is rare.
Unfair advantage.
Yeah.
A time when I had an unfair advantage.
Time that you see what?
That I've seen one.
The Rodney King beating.
Okay. I don't know. Go ahead, Johnny.
I'm trying to think within like side of sports right now.
Ooh, that was
I
a
mean,
good one.
I heard that there were sometimes the referees in basketball would enforce the rules on certain players and not on others.
Okay.
my baby is 1, 2, 3. He's 3. My second butt.
Like it or not, we're searching for the unfair advantage,
Right.
aren't we? And in motorsports, some of the cheats I've heard about are just brilliant.
Like what kind of stuff?
So I can remember hearing a guy called Win Percy, who was a touring car driver from the UK in the sort of 60s and 70s, describing how there was a famous commentator we had called Murray Walker. He was the voice of our motorsport for 40 years. He had a very distinctive voice. He was a lovely man, met him a few times.
Here is Murray Walker commentating so you get an idea of how iconic his voice was.
There's a lot of work that goes into making a podcast. The setup is one thing, then you've still got to edit. This
Schumacher tucked up behind him and straight into the barrier goes to Benetton, and there's a Ferrari down there as well.
And he'd often describe Win Percy getting out of this particular car he'd been racing, covered in sweat because it was such a monster to drive. But it turned out that it was a V12 and it was very, very thirsty. So to make sure that when they did a fuel check at the end of the race, to make sure they were abiding by the rules, he would be furiously pumping a hand pump underneath the seat to inflate a bladder in the fuel tank to cut off a load of the volume. So that and he told this story about, I don't think I'm misquoting, he's saying, well, that's why I was knackered. It wasn't because it was a V12, because on the warm down lap, I knew I had to pump this thing like 40 times to fill up the bladder.
In case you didn't know how that would be cheating, inflating a bladder in a fuel tank would mean that less fuel is put in, which would significantly reduce the weight, giving the car an insane advantage. Pretty genius, right?
Wow.
And there's amazing stories of just
I heard a story. I just heard a story of a guy went to a racetrack. You know what? I hate telling stories. I feel like I tell stories so wrong. But I just heard this story of a guy going to the racetrack. He basically said NASCAR wrote a bunch of rules because of him. And basically they tore his car apart, found a whole bunch of things that was wrong. And he had this fuel pump and he took it all out. And dude had enough of it and still drove off. This is,
He claimed that.
yeah, this is right here. Boy, this is cold. This is cold. Y'all watch this. What do I want to do this under? This cold. Is it up there?
Half of the NASCAR rule book was because of him. He brought the car, they take it apart just to see how much fuel is in the gas tank. They drop the tank. We have 9 violations. We got to get those fixed. That's nonsense. Gets in the car and goes, make that, the car up, drives away without a fuel tank in it. They never stipulated how big the fuel line could be. So the fuel line, Smokey's Chevelle, was 11 feet long and 2 inches big and could hold in itself a couple gallons of fuel. He claimed that half of
Now, do you trying to see what I'm saying? Where I be like the unfair advantage, and how dude describe, like, if you really think about it, people that take the time out to discover these loopholes become geniuses because it takes it takes for you to think outside the box at your normal job to be successful and to succeed past these goals that are sometimes seem unreachable. Right? So what I mean by that, now let's go back to the politics thing, because this is one of the conversations I was hearing earlier too, is listen to this. And John, I think I told you this a while back too. I think I explained this to you too. You had a person who campaigned for 120 days versus a man that campaigned for 4 years. Like the unfair advantage, she would have to find the unfair advantage. The unfair advantage would have been Trump actually in court doing trial during the election and couldn't campaign, and then that would have ruined his output, his outtake, his outlook. Like that would have ruined his image, basically. The unfair advantage. Go ahead.
No, I'm listening.
The unfair advantage that he had against her is the fact that what he had 4 whole years of just video everywhere, state after 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 state, constantly, just growing, and then doing things that we considered old and not doing those, and doing things that we considered new. Podcast is new. To campaign on a podcast is new. Don't nobody know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because why? It's never been done before. So that's changing the game. Tweeting and trolling your enemies, that's new. That's taking advantage of something that's new and that's out there that is useful. That nobody said, oh no, you can't do that. Nobody said you can't do that. When there was a rule saying that I can't do that. I've been talking about them. They just never paid attention to me because I wasn't in office. And you know what I'm saying? That's what you're looking at. And that's what I see. But yet again, bro, I bet you right now I can go on TikTok and we can listen to the Democratic Party people, just average Joes who go on TikTok, just the ones I be following for purposes like this, and just listen to how they talk and be like, how can you be a part of that? And I really don't want to do that. One day I want to. One day I just want to expose them and be like, listen, like I showed my audience, like I play y'all on my show so we can listen to how y'all talk and how y'all scrutinize the Republicans and people that disagree with you. I was like, what would it take for y'all to think for us to come back to y'all, to the Democratic Party? Black people vote 89% black. We vote 89% black. Trump changed that by taking 20% of black males away from the Democratic Party.
But why do black people go Democrat?
Because of what was it? The civil rights movement. The civil rights movement was mostly fed liberal women. What the Democratic Party did was once upon a time, and they still do it today, is they actually listen to the people. Okay? They listen to the people and then tell the rich people, hey, this is what the small people want. And so the rich people go make a program and then fund it and then make money off of y'all misery. And if you ask any Republican, black or white or Chinese, they're going to say damn near the same thing. The Democrats would not say that. Democrats are like, no, the Democratic Party started programs, did movements for the black people. They were going to say that Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and all these people were for Democrats. All the world leaders back in the day were Democrats, which if you really technically look that up, that's not true. And they would say all of that. And then there was a point in time in history, the Bush eras, right before the Bush eras, a couple of Republicans, they were a little rude and mean and obnoxious and not for the people. You know what I'm saying? There was.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have to look at what does the Republican Party say? Because the thing is, the Republican Party says what they, but then again, you will hear the Democrats tell you like, oh, that ain't what they mean. They don't mean that. That's their code signal for what's the word they use? What's the word
Mm-hmm.
when you mean something else? When you say something, but you actually mean what? Oh my God, I forgot that word.
Rhetorical?
No,
Is it rhetorical?
Dog whistling. When you dog whistle, that's what they call it, dog whistle. So this is what I'm talking about right here, and I just had to show this off just because this is like the most wildest stuff ever. Like, this is how y'all really do y'all panels. This is how y'all track. And then we come up there and try to offend us. Look at this. Look at this. Whatever.
Let me see.
Lie about shit.
You
I don't have to
listen to
lie
you
about
guys.
the
You're
evil
talking
fuck shit
about
that you
race.
motherfuckers have done to black people over the years. I don't have
Is
to lie about
America
a
less
motherfucking thing.
racism or
You
more racism than it
motherfuckers,
was 50 years ago?
America is more. You know what?
Hold on
America
one second, bro.
is, but the racists now feel comfortable because of that orange coochie pussy ass motherfucker that we got in office right now. When he brought his coochie neck ass down the motherfucking escalators, he made you motherfuckers feel very comfortable to come out the motherfucking closet. But guess what? You motherfuckers come up on this app and you spread your racism, but when you motherfuckers come in front of a black person, you speak a whole motherfucking different term. Because every time you motherfuckers get out of character, you get the shit beat out of you. And that's
Kamala, who
fucking
brought up
fact.
race? The host did. The host brought
Shut
up
your
race.
annoying ass
The
up.
host
Get
brought
your
up race.
sick of your ass.
And then
Get
you
your
talked
ass up.
about how
You
you
need
got
to go
pulled
find your
over.
motherfucking wife. Go find your wife because she's probably sucking a
You
black
talked about
dick.
getting pulled over.
Do that for me. Go find your wife because she's probably sucking a black dick. The fuck?
Wow! Amazing! What?
What happened?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I think that's what I'm gonna start having to do on my show is go down that TikTok rabbit hole and show you. Maybe that's what I gotta do, expose. Do I gotta keep showing it? Did you hear the language?
What you mean?
So that lady was going off on a person foully, disruptive, then calling Trump all type of pussy necks and just foul languages like that. What I mean by that is like, you're going to try to persuade a person like me to want to come back to the Democratic Party. And I got to hear, how can you think that lady can persuade a person like me? Like, wow, like, ooh, like, well, damn. You already accused it, but when you're around your people, woo, woo, you have no facts of bringing up about how that man talks around his people. You just automatically assume it just because of his skin color. I guarantee. That's shameful. I have to speak like that. I still got him right here, like, bro, like, stop playing. You think it's over? Like, you think it's over? I don't even know who's talking. Hopefully somebody else is talking and they switching it up, but sheesh.
Somebody else got to get something, and yet we're supposed to believe that you want to make America great for everyone, when the America you're talking about is the one where you didn't have to sit up here and call a bunch of black people racist.
My family had slaves.
You just want to call a bunch of black people racist, and you want to put racism on hate. And you can't even go back and tell me, find me the Portuguese man that decided when he was riding on that boat to get around the Cape of Good Hope, no, Cape Horn, when he was trying to get Cape Horn going to India, when they decided to pull over to the side on shore, and he got off that boat and he said, you know what? All these black motherfuckers, I hate them. Let's enslave them. Is that what happened?
Hey, black.
Or the Spanish, or the
Are those people in the
who took over
comments?
for the Portuguese after they went
No,
over
they
into
on the,
South America,
what's
and
called
after
it? I just blocked
they
out the
decimated all of those people.
Oh, okay.
I just blocked out the comments so we can see the panel. This is the panel
They started to
talking.
go over to
This is TikTok.
Africa
You're
and
just
get
like
off
the
the
other
boat
guy.
and say,
Okay,
you know what?
okay.
I hate these. They got off that boat and say, I hate these motherfuckers. Let's go enslave them.
Hey, black. Can I talk for
Is
10
that
seconds?
what happened?
Can I
Is
talk for
that
10
what
seconds?
happened? Is that how racism happened? Because
Black.
somebody decided, I'm just going to go over here and say, I hate these motherfuckers. Let's put them all in chains. Is that what
Black,
happened?
Can I say
Black,
something?
let him talk. Let him talk, please.
Black, are you the same dude that said you know? How do you know my family so well? Because you said my family had slaves. I know everything about my family history, buddy.
First of all, I didn't even
You
say
know
that. You
shit
twisted
about my
what I
family.
said just to make a narrative so that you could come back with your fake outrage. I didn't say your family had slaves.
I don't have fake outrage. I'm the one that mentioned my buddy getting passed off for a job, and all of a sudden we're going to dismiss that, right? We're going to dismiss that because
Yeah,
white people
because
don't
it's
have
not
to
important.
get a job.
It's not
Right,
fucking
Kamala?
important.
No
He
white
probably
people
got
get
passed
passed
up for
off.
the fucking job because he probably was unmotherfucking qualified and didn't know how to articulate himself during a fucking interview. He probably showed up to the interview wearing a fucking pair of jeans and a
And
dress
that's only
shirt.
white people, right?
Bitch,
Is that only white
that's
people?
what.
That only happens to white people?
No, it does
that
not.
happened to unqualified
No,
people.
it happens to
And your buddy was
unqualified,
unqualified.
uneducated motherfucking people.
Do black people
That's
get
not a
jobs
white
that are
or black thing.
unqualified?
That's an uneducated person thing. The fuck you talking about? You trying to change the motherfucking
okay.
narrative. At the end of the
Oh,
day, it
so it
is
can
what
happen
it
both
is.
ways, right?
White people have discriminated and have proven their racism towards minorities throughout the years of this country existence. White people have gone
can't
over to Africa.
White people can't get
White
Hey, bro, what's
people have
going on?
gone. White people have.
You really don't get that argument? What's going on?
I can't hear it.
Why you can't hear it?
No, I don't know why.
Cause I'm like, I got it up there. I turned
Yeah,
it
I
up.
see it. I do see it. I just can't hear it.
That's crazy. Hold on. I'm just gonna play it to see. Can I hear it on my phone or something?
Fuck you. That's what I said.
Okay, I hear it now.
Fuck you. Now block his ass.
Okay, so basically this panel that you just heard, ladies and gentlemen, just went off on a Republican with no facts, almost damn near talked about his family. This is what I'm saying right here. This is it. Y'all want to say that the Republican Party speaks a lot of hateful rhetoric and they talk a lot of hateful things, but we don't put up signs that says MAGA hates America. And we do not hate America when we fly the American flag 100 times more than any Democratic Party or even parade that has gone on. We oh my God, just like it's amazing. And to just speak that white people are racist all the time when these people sit up here on the panel with white friends that agree with them. But yet again, you would say white people got racism, but you would sit on a panel with a white person that agrees with you that America is wrong or that the Republican Party is no good. Like, I don't know if y'all seen that, but go back and rewind and if you want, pause and zoom in because the black lady is up there next to a white person on the panel. We speak. Let me pull it back up. Second row. That is a black lady. That is a white person right there. Stop playing with me. That makes no sense to me at all when you point out racism to a group or a minority of people when it's not a minority of people, it's an individual person that don't like you. I get that. That makes absolutely sense. Are there racism people here in America? Yes. How many times do I got to say that? Yes. Is they moving at a grand cut like the KKK? No. Nigga, that would be breaking news. It's too many cell phones out here for causing corruption like that. It would be easy lawsuits. Lawyers would be rich as hell. This is why this is Burn Live. We're trying to burn some common sense into the situation. Come on, dog. Ladies and gentlemen, I got to play this little ad real quick. You know what I'm saying? Just want to see how it looked, just to be honest with y'all. Be right back. That needs some type of music or something to that. I don't. I forgot about that part or do something. I'm gonna figure that out. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back with that. I'm glad I did that like that. Okay, all right. All right. So, shall we teach our kids winning and losing?
What do you say?
What do I say?
Yeah.
I say that we need to teach winning and losing, yes, for it teaches morals in life. It's so out of proportion where we allow everybody to be, and hear me out, we allow everybody to be what you want to be. There's nothing wrong with that. Where the problem lies, and I don't think people pay full attention, is when the fact of the matter is, when you involve policy in the stuff that actually doesn't need a policy, when your policy really doesn't protect a majority of people, when you're only looking to a small percentage of people, because yet again, them people feel some type of way. Yet again, now, if them small set of people do the right thing and vote on it and actually make the difference, you can't knock that. And that's what happened with the LGBTQ community. We complain because yet again they did the right things and voted. What we complain about is that the extra exposure that we didn't know that came with that, like, yo, you gotta regulate things inside certain things that you allow. You know what I'm saying? We're not trying to say kick these people out of what's called. What we're trying to say is don't adapt your ideology into the schools, elementary schools, middle schools, kindergartens. No, a teacher should not be teaching that it's okay for you to be talking about sex genders only to your teachers and trying to keep it a secret. It should not be fair. It should not be a law that your kid that's under 13 is allowed to travel, run away to California, and then seek asylum, and then the parent won't know nothing about it. Things like that is stepping over, I believe, moral boundaries of parent and child.
Yeah, I believe that too.
When I say winning and losing, is because yet again, I'm saying with a little bit of research, but I am saying the reason that we have this effect of here because we took away winners and losers. I'm saying that, yes. I'm saying we took away winners and losers and we got a bunch of soft people because now people understood that I could win and be a winner for no reason at all. So that means when Tommy and Tim and Drake and Lil Wayne and Trump and Elon and your favorite rapper and your favorite singer and your favorite artist get a reward for doing something successful, you as a person sitting at home should get an award too. And with society feeling like that, there are people that feels like if I am too emotional distraught, that I should be able to call in and not be able to go to work and possibly get the hours that I couldn't get because I was emotionally distraught. There are people out here arguing that 20 hours a week, no, 40 hours a week should be labeled full time. And you know what I'm saying? We should reduce rent. So therefore, I should be able to stay at home and don't have to work as much.
I agree.
But yet again, you want to enjoy the iPhone 17. You want to enjoy that flat screen TV. You want to enjoy the internet. You want to enjoy talking to these people all over the world, discovering new things. You want to enjoy learning and seeing astronauts going in outer space. You want to enjoy people deep diving in the oceans, taking pictures, uploading that. You want to enjoy all of that, but that shit costs money.
What's your point?
My point is because the things cost and it takes a different breed of people, you gotta separate the winners from the losers. You gotta be able to separate the winners from the losers so you can motivate the losers to become winners.
But that's the thing. Not everybody could win.
Everybody can't.
No, they
But
can't.
yet again, everybody can be a winner. You just may not be able to win at that race.
No, everybody can't be a winner.
Are you crazy? You listen here. Just because you're good at this don't mean you're good at the next. You may be good at up, don't mean you're good at down. You may be good at left, don't mean you're good at right.
What I mean
Maybe
is like everybody can't make enough money to afford these things. That just goes with the flow of the economy. That's why there's social
that's
classes now.
that's true, but when you can sit out here and when you have people that says that, and this is true, we all have the same 24 hours, right? And like I said, everybody got different states, but I wish the people that are watching to do me a favor, and I wish y'all people do me a favor, start talking to these homeless people and ask them 2 to 3 things. A, do they got a cell phone? Can they call someone? And if they say yes, then you ask them. Because if they say no, because always the first question is, do you have a cell phone? If they say yes, then you can add them to ask them the next question. Okay. Then I want you to ask them, do they have $3 in their pocket? I know today's society, like $3 ain't gonna get you nothing. Shit on a bull. Ask them, do they have $3 in their pocket? Or if you got the cojones, ask them, do they got 5? I understand it's 2028, it's 2029. I get it. So if you want to be a smart ass, ask them, do they got $5 in their pocket? I bet you they at least have 3. And if they say yes, then that allows you to continue on to the next question. And I'm saying this because 8 times out of 10, when you ask a homeless person these 3 questions, they're gonna have these things. They're gonna have a cell phone in their pocket.
What's wrong with being a homeless person?
Did I say there was something wrong with being a homeless person?
I hope not.
I'm asking you, did you hear me say there's something wrong with being a homeless person?
It did not.
Okay, cool. So the third question I want to ask them is, do they actually have something to eat? And yes, I know some people, are you going to hear me out and like, dang, why you didn't ask them, did they have something to eat with the first question? No, the first question is very important that you ask in these 3 orders. The reason why you want to ask in 3 orders is because I'm showing the trickle down effect. And the trickle down effect is most homeless people in today's society have those 3 things. I guarantee they have the first one, especially if they're a drug user. If they abuse drugs, the number one thing I guarantee they most likely have in their possession is a cell phone to make the phone call to whoever they got to get the drugs from. Like, I don't care what type of hustle they do or not do. I bet you they're gonna hustle up a cell phone, so therefore they can keep going on in whatever business that they got going on. I'm saying this because winners and losers, you have to separate the winners and losers from that, because today's society, there's too much advance for everybody to have some type of advance. Even the bottoms have an advance. We just don't want to sit up here and admit it. I'm going to admit it because I bet you if you go out there and ask a homeless person them 3 things and them 3 orders and they say yes to all 3, I'm letting you know and I'm proving you and I'm showing you that's their advantage right there. They already accomplished 3 major things that you need to survive in life. They already got amongst them in their pocket. So there's no way that they cannot succeed just because they're at the bottom of the barrel. Don't think that because there's that middle class right there and that high class right there, we're stopping that person from being homeless to being something successful. That's not true. There's no way that you can point at somebody and say somebody's in somebody's way. Only person that be in somebody's way is ourselves. Why is ourselves? Because we wasn't taught winning and losing. Why we wasn't taught to win and losing? Because we was taught winning and losing. Once we was losing, we would go find some winners to go hang out with. Tired of losing. In sports, when you see that player tired of being on that losing team, tired of working for that franchise, when that coach, when that owner is sitting up there in that office, not listening, not obeying, not trying to help the team, what do? We dip. We dip. We go to a team, we try to win a championship. When we're with that girl, we're trying to win in life. We're trying to do everything right. She's nagging us. We can't find no peace. Guess what? We're not winning. We're not winning rings over here. We're not winning rings. We dip. Winning and losing. Teaching our kids winning and losing teaches morals. It teaches them to grow up and understand that when you hear certain things, when you deal with certain things, you're able to deal with them accordingly. And I want to bring up this, if I can find it, because I think this is just another beautiful short to my explanation. Please. Come on. Was it on here? I thought it was on her. Thought it was on her.
What are you looking for?
Yeah, I'm looking for this quote I had just watched. You know what I'm saying? I know what it's from. You know what I'm saying? But don't tell me I watched that. Oh my God, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. The debates of all debates might be happening. And it's fresh and live. I don't know, y'all. Oh my God. Now, let me just say, when I just seen these two faces, I knew it was up, but it's supposed to be just three. So
imagine being able to build an app with your name on it just by thinking about it. Base 44. A complete AI creation.
These do's and don'ts in our mind, and then men enforce those rights. A collection of men enforce those rights. So rights is just a construct of the mind.
Okay. I would say that rights are the minimal set of claims that each rational agent has to be able to make over themselves and over the world in order for a social contract to be possible, i.e. society.
Okay, got it. And who would enforce those rights?
I think that, I mean, what are you getting at when you ask that question?
Okay.
I'm asking that question. So you define rights as, repeat it again, actually, because it's so ambiguous. It's like hard, or maybe I'm just slow. Repeat it again. You're in, what is it? Cambridge University? All right, fair enough. I just have a high school education. Repeat it again for me.
So I say that rights are the hold on. I wrote the definition down myself. It's essentially the minimal set of claims that each rational agent has to be able to make over themselves and over the world in order for a social contract to be possible, i.e. mutually agreeing and binding themselves to a contract to enter society.
Remember, we was talking about debates.
Okay,
Johnny.
got it. So then rights is a construction of the mind.
No, because rights are a set of constraints that any
You can
rational
speak
agent would
anytime.
agree to put
You
on
know,
themselves
still
when they
listen,
choose to enter society. Just like how maths, there's like obviously the debate about whether or not maths.
Yeah, but
are
it's
found or
subjective. We
discovered.
give
But
ourselves
this is why
these
I
rights,
say-
is what you're saying.
No, that's not what I say. I say that rights are to do with the extent to which we follow any kind of reason, rationality insofar as it would require us to enter society. So it's like, for example, mathematical theorems or like Nash's equilibrium. These types of things are just like basic fundamentals about the world that sure we use to discover it through our mind, but they're not invented.
Okay. So it's not invented, but we can choose to discover it through our mind. But
That's right.
so once again, can you touch a right?
No.
Okay. So you cannot touch a right, but you have rights. And if you can't touch it, it's not in the physical world, then it would only be in the mind, right?
Well, you also have maths.
Say that again.
You also have maths.
I can't understand you. Did you say maths?
Math.
Oh, math. Okay, I'm sorry. It's the it's. But okay. I see what you're saying. So we also have math. That is true. The funny thing is, math we can map on to reality.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't we do that with the only way to map how you define rights? How can we do that if it's not by force?
What do you mean?
So math, I can see one thing, I can see two of the same things, and I can see one thing and see another thing and say that's one, put it together, that's two. I can think of that, but I can also map it onto reality. I can touch it. It's also physical as well. With rights, how does it become physical in reality?
Because maths are norms of thought and rights are norms of action. So like I'm saying that maths and rights are a similar category of thing, which is like structures that anyone rational would presuppose. Like rights are structures that underlie coherent actions, and therefore you can ground them in, for example, a social contract. Just because I can't touch something doesn't mean it's like inherently subjective.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can ground the right, but my question for you is, you're saying something, but you're not really demonstrating it. How can you ground the right, something that you construct in your mind? So, for example, if I say that me as an individual, well, I have, just like the Mike Tyson example, we can use many different examples, right? Me as an individual, I go to Afghanistan, right? And I say that, well, I have the right to do this. They're gonna be like, I can think and say it out loud, but if they take the right from me, I don't actually have the right. So what I'm saying is, all of these things, you don't have.
You know
all
who
of these
who
things
really
need
need to
to
be in
in-
here right now is Jason, Money Demon.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you a question. You can think that women have the right to vote, right? You can think that, but prior to the 19th Amendment, women did not have the right to vote. So it can be women prior to the 19th Amendment. They could actually think that they had the right to vote, but did they actually have the right to vote? They only had it after the 19th Amendment.
Let me try to clear this up so we don't get stuck on this. Okay. Also, I don't do formal philosophy, so I'm going to okay. So I think the argument is, her argument is that insofar as any social contract can possibly exist, any rational mind would conceive of or construct rights to make said social contract work. much the same that for anybody to do math, every reasonable, rational mind would agree that 1 + 1 = 2. So in a world where women can't vote, the statement wouldn't that I eventually would say, it wouldn't be that like women didn't have the right. She would say that women didn't have a social contract. So
yeah, that's. I get how she's explaining it, but my question is, which she still didn't answer, how can it be enforced?
Okay.
How are you going to enforce the thing that you have in your mind? That's my question.
Right. So here's what I'll do. I'll tackle the internal critique. So what I would say is that even if men historically hold certain positions, the internal critique doesn't hold, because saying like the weaker group appealing to the stronger group to enforce rights that exist absent them mind independently. That is how all rights movements work. So this would be like saying like, okay, workers appealing to their bosses for a weekend demonstrates that workers' rights movements fall in on themselves, or like slaves appealing to enslavers.
Y'all, I don't mean to be rude. Go find the Fugazi show. I know this probably going to be a phenomenal debate. Quincy is very radical. He's very finna get loud and stuff. And like I said, I don't know where that's finna go, but I know them two right there, Cooley and Steven. I can't wait till they really, you know what I'm saying, get into a conversation, because that's where you probably gonna get the real juices, real sauces down of breaking the person down, filling the person out in a debate. It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be a good show. Hey, Johnny, after his heart, I appreciate you coming through. You know?
Yeah, no problem, bro. I was just watching the debate and seeing where it goes. That's all. I was just seeing where the topic was,
I get it. But I see like it was in the beginning, because like when I seen it in the background, I was like, "Ooh, they just started." Oh man, it's gonna be saucy. Like I know it's gonna be saucy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, but I know I can't watch fully stuff like that. I just want to give my audience a taste of a good show that's on YouTube. If they want to go catch it out, the No Fugazi show. You know what I'm saying? I know they all streaming on their platforms. So Steven, I don't know what his platform is called, but the Fugazi, go check that out. This the Burn Live Show, y'all. Until next time, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank y'all for stopping through. I'm out.
We out.
Bye-bye.